To make his wife jealous, the man deliberately showed affection to the woman beside him in public, but to his surprise, the wife, who once loved him so deeply, showed no anger at all. She simply offered a calm, collected smile. Earlier that day, she had accidentally discovered a set of love letters her husband had hidden for years. Only then did she realize that the man who always pretended to be cold and distant had actually cared for her far more than he ever admitted since they were 17. She had always been the one who chased him, believing she was the one who loved more. But the truth was that he had cared silently, watching her from afar, cherishing every moment even when he didn't show it. Even after she pursued him for 3 years, he didn't immediately accept her, not because he disliked her, but because he enjoyed feeling valued by her attention. Even after marriage, he often threw out careless suggestions about divorce, and she was always the one trying to hold the marriage. Together, people around them became used to this pattern. Now, on their 99th divorce application, the man fully expected the same reaction, that she would beg him to stay. But discovering those letters changed everything. She finally understood that her love had been taken for granted for too long, and she quietly made up her mind to leave the cycle behind. When she returned home to pack her things, she realized her mother's necklace, her only keepsake, was missing. She went to ask her husband about it, only to find him with friends joking about their divorce drama. Confident she would run back to him as always instead, she asked calmly about the necklace. He had casually given it away without asking her, and the woman he gave it to claimed she didn't know where it went. The wife felt the sting of disappointment, but seeing the situation clearly, she simply decided to move on. After a few days of distance between them, the man unexpectedly became anxious, something he rarely showed. He visited her at the hospital during a routine checkup, acting cold on the surface but clearly worried underneath. When he announced that the other woman would start visiting their home more often, the wife didn't argue. She had already accepted the truth of the relationship. He later organized a birthday celebration for that woman, and everyone around assumed she was the one he truly cared for. But only the wife understood. The woman was simply someone he used to provoke reactions. Now that she no longer reacted, the situation felt different at a TA class reunion. Her friends teased her about her old crush, thinking she had never actually ended up with him. She simply smiled, letting them keep the harmless misunderstanding. Soon after, her husband arrived at the same event with the woman beside him. Tio provoked jealousy. He displayed affection openly, but she didn't even look in their direction. She just walked away quietly, mistaking her calmness for jealousy. He assumed she still cared deeply. The other woman approached the wife outside, saying she should stop, hoping the marriage would be restored. The wife didn't respond and simply tried to leave. Tension rose when the woman accused her of causing trouble, and when her husband arrived, she immediately acted innocent, insinuating that the wife had been the one stirring conflict. He believed the story instantly, scolding his wife without listening to her explanation. But this time, the wife didn't plead, didn't argue, and didn't try to defend herself. She simply stayed calm. Finally, the last day of the divorce cooling-off period arrived. For the first time, the man expected her to choose him without hesitation. He even insisted on going with her to the civil affairs office, still believing she would withdraw